I'm Jessica Hellmann. I'm the director of the Institute on the Environment, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our second IonE annual meeting. Because I'm the director, I get to force you all to listen to a few moments of my own ideas about where we have been and where we are going as an institute. So I want to start that tour with a question. Why are you here? I've been thinking about this myself. I actually know why I am here. And I know specifically why I am part of the Institute on the Environment. I chose to be a biologist. It's not by random chance that I'm an academic. I believe in a life of science. I believe in the importance of knowledge and of learning. And I'm personally inspired by creatures that inhabit this planet with us. But at the same time, I know that the world is changing, and I know that there are scary processes that are operating, and they're undermining some of those things that I value. One of those environmental changes is climate change. It's hard at the same time to know that despite our understanding of climate change, we're really not doing enough about it. And so I am here because I want to be part of righting that wrong. I want to do what I can to make the world a better place. And how do I do that? Here's one way. This creature and some others like it are how I work on climate and other environmental issues. This little creature, some of you have seen it before, it's the Karner blue butterfly. And this is an endangered species. Some populations that I have studied at the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore are already extinct. And some models that students and I have made show that this species is unlikely to persist where it lives now in the future under climate change. And so if climate change happens, this butterfly is probably doomed. And that work, my body of work, is used in species management and habitat management for that creature and others quite a lot. And I'm immensely proud of that work. I do think it is impactful. On the other hand, there are other faces of climate change. I want to acknowledge that I think my own work is important. It's not as if I have chosen the wrong thing to work on, but at the same time, that work doesn't necessarily live up to or match the need. And that gap, to me, is sometimes quite frustrating. It's that as an individual researcher, my scope and my reach is relatively limited. And perhaps sometimes some of you feel that way too, both proud of the work that we do, but also daunted by the scale of the challenge and the need that is out there. I know every single one of you has your own butterfly. Just in this room, the span of knowledge and capability that we have scientists and engineers, we have humanities scholars and artists, we have economists and social scientists and policy experts. We have friends in this room from outside the university who run NGOs and community organizing groups. You are esteemed scholars, you are teachers, you are implementers, and each of you does very, very much. But at the last annual meeting, we did hear from many of you that there's something else that you want. Something that is a remedy to my butterfly problem, to the gap between the important and valuable work that I do and the great need that exists in the world. There was a resounding sense that collective impact could become more core to what IonE is and how it serves its community. And we heard you. So we spent months surveying and studying how we could do this, how we could increase our collective impact. So this morning, I want to share with you 3 steps that we have taken in response to that feedback. So here's one step. The first one I want to share with you is that we recently established Minnesota-Duluth as a formal hub of IonE. And affiliates there were asking to form a nexus of collective impact. So we're calling this new hub IonE at UMD. The second thing I want to share with you is we needed a new organizational structure to take on this idea of collective action and collective impact and to better serve the IonE community. And the design I want to share with you is composed of 3 core capabilities. The first, we're going to call it knowledge initiatives. This is a home for the work that we do as an institute that fills those most needed knowledge gaps to move the needle on sustainability. The second core capability is in the area of leadership development and education. This part of the institute will serve to create and to support leaders. Those are people who have the soft skills, that ability to communicate, the ability to work with diverse stakeholders. They'll have those soft skills and the sustainability chops, awareness of sustainability science and scholarship to put knowledge into action. And third, we have something we're calling the J Lab. And J is a reference to the idea of journalism. But think about journalism. Journalism and journalists are people or a concept that is dedicated to serving the public good. And the J Lab will produce world-class storytelling for external audiences about both knowledge and leaders. And these core functions then clarify the unique role that we play in Minnesota and around the world in advancing sustainability. And each one of these core capacities is going to be run by an associate director of the Institute on the Environment. And then finally, we've taken one more big step to realize that call for collective action, and it's a new strategy we're calling IonE Impact Goals. Impact goals are going to be specific outcomes that we will share as a community over a 3 to 5 year period. We will direct funding and resources to support research in that knowledge initiative type of way. We will host events on those goals. We will work to incorporate those goals into leadership and education programming. And we will cultivate a network of partners to translate goals work into real-world implementation. And I do not mean to imply that you're not already, again, doing extraordinary work, including work toward achieving these goals. You are. And what this program is aiming to do is to answer the question, can we work together and measure that collective impact along the way? So let me show you an example. Thanks to my own work, this butterfly work I shared with you very briefly, that work makes me very motivated to want to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This allows me to take my expertise and move it closer to that bigger stuff that I'm frustrated about falling short of. And what we hope is that you will bring your expertise too. And we will help you find ways to engage with these goals. When we go after these shared goals, we're going to be on the cutting edge of what it means to do transformative, engaged, interdisciplinary scholarship. So thank you very much.